right, go ahead.
Okay, this is an interview at Saratoga Springs, New York, the New York State Military Museum. It's the 25th of August, 2003, approximately 10 a.m. Interviewers are Wayne Clark and Mike Russert. Could you give me your full name, date of birth, and place of birth, please?
Val Serbalik.
Okay, where were you born?
Born in Cohoes, New York.
Okay, and when were you born?
September 17, 1917.
Okay. What was your educational background prior to going into service?
Well, all I did was graduate from Mechanical High School.
Okay. Do you remember, while you were in service, you went into service in January 1941.
That's
were
right.
you drafted or did you enlist?
The what?
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
Well, I was drafted.
Mm-hmm.
I was drafted in January 1941.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What you were drafted into the Army?
Yeah.
Where did you go for your basic training?
We went down to Long Island. Then from Long Island, they shipped us to Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Okay.
And we were ready. We were listed for 1 year, and then they realized what was going to happen. So the Roosevelt extended the enlistment to 6 more months. Mm-hmm. So I was ready to go home on furlough, and December 7th, the Japs attacked Pearl Harbor. Mm-hmm. Instead of going to Mechanicville, we were headed out to California.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember where you were when you heard about Pearl Harbor?
Yes, it was a Sunday afternoon, and we were ready to have a chicken dinner, and the news came over that the Japs attacked Pearl Harbor, but we didn't know anything about Pearl Harbor. So instead of going home on furlough, we're heading out to California.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember what kind of feelings you had when you heard about this?
I didn't have any feelings. It was just a matter of fact, that's all. Mm-hmm. And we didn't realize exactly what was happening. All we heard on the news was that the Japs attacked Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
And
what kind of training did you receive in Alabama?
The regular infantry training.
Mm-hmm. So you were basically finished with training by the time
Yes,
Pearl
but we
Harbor.
had 6 more months
Yes.
to go.
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to be out in 1 year. That's what we were drafted for 1 year, mm-hmm. but they extended that 6 more months because they realized what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Now, where did you go in California?
We went to Camp Hahn in Riverside, California.
Okay, what did you receive any special training there?
No, we were guarding the Aquitania, which was a British ship, and that was what was going to take us over to where we were going.
Mm-hmm. Now, what unit were you assigned to?
What's that?
What unit were you assigned to?
We were in the 27th Division, Company C, 106th Infantry.
106th, okay. All right. Were you assigned to that when you left New York State, or were you...
Yes, when we went to Fort McClellan, that's the outfit we were with, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So you stayed with that unit for the whole war?
Whole war.
Your time in service. All right. So after you were sent out there to guard the ship, when were you shipped out?
We were shipped out, well, we arrived in Honolulu Harbor on March 1942. Mm-hmm. From there, we were transferred to a smaller boat which took us to Hilo, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm. Now, in all these travels, did you go in a convoy? Were there a large number of ships, or did you travel in a single ship?
We were, I think, a single ship. That was they took the whole outfit to Honolulu.
Mm-hmm.
From Honolulu, they transferred us to a smaller boat, and we went to Hilo, Hawaii, where we spent a couple years.
Mm-hmm. What did you do there?
We had all our amphibious training. Each morning we would go out on the ocean and make amphibious training. We would make, we would land on all different beaches for preparing us for our invasion of Eniwetok and wherever we were going.
What kind of landing craft did you use? Were they ones with the front drop down, or did you have to go over the sides?
We had the amphibious.
The amphibious tractors?
Yeah,
Okay.
tractor.
Did you have to go over the side of them, or did the back drop down?
No, we had to jump off the boat.
Okay. So you trained there, and then when was your first combat?
We went to Kwajalein. We were reserved for the 7th Division who took Kwajalein, but they didn't need us. So from Kwajalein, we went to Eniwetok, which we made the beachhead for Eniwetok.
So you were in the first wave?
First or second wave, yeah.
What was it like going into the landing area?
Well, the boat to our right happened to land right in front of a Jap 50 caliber machine gun, and as I was going off the boat, I saw them get riddled. The whole boatload was riddled, but the Jap couldn't traverse to the right to get us. So one of our men got up in the foxhole and got that Jap that got all our men. We suffered a lot of casualties in Eniwetok.
Could you describe your combat there a little bit? Tell us some of the things you remember.
Well, I was in a mortar squad then, so we were right behind the lines, and we suffered a lot of casualties.
Were you in a mortar crew, or were you an observer?
I was in a mortar crew for Eniwetok and Saipan. Then I took over the 2nd platoon, the rifle company.
What rank were you at that point?
What rank were you?
Staff sergeant.
Okay, when you took over, okay. How long were you on Eniwetok?
Well, it only took us a couple of days. It took us one day to take the island. Then we had to go on the beach, pick up all our. We had to pick up all our casualties, which was not a good job.
Did your unit, your mortar crew, lose many men?
The what?
Your mortar crew, did it lose many men? Did you have a lot of casualties in your mortar crew?
No, we were right behind the lines. At that time, the land wasn't hilly, so we were right behind the rifle companies.
Why did you think it was not a pleasant job to clean up the beachhead? You said it was not a pleasant job to clean up the beachhead. Why?
Well, it was all our friends that we were inducted together, and they were all riddled, and we had to put them in on stretchers and carry them back.
Was there anyone else from Mechanicville in your unit?
Yes, a guy by the name of Henry Wilk was with us.
Okay. After you left Eniwetok, where did you go?
We went back from Eniwetok. We went back to Schofield Barracks in Hawaii. We stayed there a while, and then we were ready for Saipan. And that was, I think, in 44. I'm not sure. 44. We went to Saipan. From Saipan, we suffered quite a few casualties.
Could you describe your actions on Saipan?
Saipan was the center of the island was hilly. The 2nd and 4th Marines were to our left and right, and we got the job of going through the mountains, and we couldn't go as fast as the Marines who were on the comparatively level land. So all the Japs were going up the mountain, we had them all. So we took us a while to get the mountains, and then we got to the northern part of the island, and that's where all the Japs got to the northern part, and they started the banzai attack. One morning they come, thousands of them came charging. They were all sacking up, and we riddled them like mad.
What kind of sidearm did you carry?
We had a carbine. We had a 30 caliber carbine.
Did you find that a reliable weapon?
Yeah.
So can you describe this banzai attack at all? Were you involved in that?
Well, they were coming, they were all sacking up, and we had even the 30 caliber machine guns up there. As they were coming there, we mowed them down. But that was a famous banzai attack of the Saipan.
Now I noticed you received wounds on Saipan. How were you wounded?
I wasn't wounded on Saipan.
Oh, on Okinawa?
On Okinawa.
Oh, okay.
On Okinawa, we were in the front lines, and we had a mortar attack. And when the mortar started coming down, the guys to my right were killed. Some were wounded. All I received was shrapnel wounds. That's all the lava and all that were, and all the wounds festered up, and they took me to the hospital, and that's where I spent a month.
Okay. Which do you think was probably the most vicious fighting? Eniwetok, Saipan, or Okinawa?
Eniwetok, because it was right on the beach. And it was really, the Japs were right there, and we had a tough time there for a while. But it only took us one day to take the island.
How long were you on Saipan?
At least a month. From Saipan we went to New Hebrides, the Espiritu Santo. It was Christmas time then. We were ready for the next operation, which was Okinawa.
Were you on the first wave in Okinawa?
No, we were reserved on Okinawa, and it was an Easter Sunday when they landed on Okinawa. They figured on a lot of casualties, but there wasn't nothing at all. So they penetrated the island, cut it in half, and then the Japs had the Naha line there, and that's where they made their stand.
Now, were you involved in that?
Yes, we were on that's where I was in the rifle company. That's where I had my platoon, and we suffered casualties. Then we were pulled back because we suffered too many casualties. We were replaced by some other outfit.
Now, where did you receive your Bronze Star?
On Okinawa. Well, we were attacking a pillbox, and all I did was I saw where the Japs were, and I just climbed up there. I always carried a lot of hand grenade. I always wanted a hand grenade. That's all I wanted. I'd rather have the hand grenade instead of the rifle because I could take the hand grenade and more effective than a rifle. And the Japs were in the hole there. A couple of them were there. We threw some hand grenade in. We got rid of them, and we took the hill.
Okay. How long were you on Okinawa?
Let's see. I said we were there a little over a month. Then we went to, from there we went to New Hebrides, Espirito Santo. That was Christmas time.
Okay. You also had dengue fever? You had dengue fever?
Yeah, well, everyone had dengue fever. Dengue fever was caused by a daylight mosquito. And when we got there was hundreds of troops were in a hospital with dengue fever. And I was in there for quite a while.
Now, was your hearing affected by the mortar attack?
Well, partially it was due to loud noises, which was due to the artillery.
Okay. Now, you said that there was a woman, a lieutenant, that you were very impressed with. What was her name and why?
Well, I went to the hospital. That was when that was in Hawaii. I smashed my toe when we were making the emplacements on the big island of Hawaii. Smashed the toe, and I was in the hospital for a couple months. It was more or less a vacation because I wasn't fit for duty because I couldn't put my shoe on. And this nurse gave me special attention.
What was her name?
Gertrude Hankins. She was from Danville, Virginia.
So she impressed you because she gave you all this special attention.
Yeah, we would. She would take me out for walks at night. That was really a vacation.
Did you get any leave at all while you were in the service?
The what?
Did you get any time that you went home from 41 to 45?
We weren't home for from 1941. Fall, that was our last furlough. We were scheduled for a furlough at Christmas, but the war started. So from 1941, September or October, we didn't come home till October of 1945. We were not home once.
What do you think was your the biggest impression you had of your time in the service? How do you think it affected your life?
Well, we just took it for granted. I don't think it affected my life at all. I miss everybody, but 4 years to be away from home without coming home once, that's a long time.
Were you ever away from home before that?
No.
Did you keep in contact with those at home? How did you keep in contact with those at home? Did you write a lot of letters?
Yeah, we would. I would get a lot of letters. I have a family who always wrote me, and I wrote back. Yeah, that's the only contact we have with the family by mail.
Did you ever see any USO shows?
I would never go because I would feel bad by going. Bob Hope came over, but I laid down in my pup tent instead of going to see the show because I felt a lot worse by going to see a show than being back in a pup tent.
Do you regret not going to see him? Do you regret not going to see him?
No, I didn't care about seeing those shows. I was in no mood to see shows.
Do you remember where you were and your feelings about the death of President Roosevelt?
About Roosevelt?
His death. Did you have any emotions?
No emotion at all.
How about the dropping of the atomic bombs on Japan?
Well, I was ready to go home. I was ready to go home 2 days before the war ended. They put us on a nice boat to go home. I had enough of, in fact, all of us had enough of points. They had a point system,
Yes.
and all of us had enough points to go home, but they couldn't ship the whole outfit. I was on the boat, ready to come home, and they dropped the bomb. After they dropped the bomb, they took us off the nice ship and sent the troops over to Japan and put us on an old scow that went back to Hawaii. And I don't know how long it took us to go, but I know it was a long time because we zigzagged because they were afraid of the Japs. They would bomb you anyway, whether the war ended or not. So we... from Okinawa to Hawaii, it took us a long time to get there. Yeah.
How did you feel about the atomic bombs dropping on Japan?
I was ready to go home anyway. I didn't know. So instead of coming home, it delayed my trip home anyway. So I was going home anyway.
Okay.
But I was glad because of my friends were not going to Japan. Because I hear we were scheduled to make the beachhead in Japan.
Okay. Did you join a veterans organization?
No, I didn't join anything.
Never have.
No.
Did you ever stay in contact with anyone that you were in service?
Yes, a lot of friends, yeah, but they're all gone. I'm the only one left.
Okay. Did you ever have any reunions? Your group have reunions?
They had reunions all over. They called me up a couple of times, but I never bothered to go no reunions.
Okay. Did you ever use the GI Bill at all?
Did I?
Use the GI Bill?
No.
How about the 5220 Club?
No, I didn't use nothing.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your interview. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.